Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Chris Davis, and today we're going to do a review of the season finale of Loki Season 2. And man, well, before I go any further, spoiler warnings. If you have not seen this episode and you don't want to hear any spoilers, please click off this video, watch the episode, come back. Yeah, if you don't care for spoilers or if you've already seen the episode, please continue to keep watching. With that being said, let's get into it. So, Loki Season 2, Episode 6. This is the season finale. So, with this episode, we're picking up where we last left off with Episode 5. And Loki has controlled his time slipping. Loki, in this episode, primarily is trying to stop the TVA from being destroyed. And he does this, but it's not so straightforward as him like controlling time slipping. There's a little bit more to it. We see in this episode that he goes right before the TVA is destroyed, when the Kang variant goes out into the temporal radiation. He's instantly destroyed. Loki keeps going back in time over and over because he tries to go faster, with sending the Kang variant out to do the temporal disruptor and to stop the temporal radiation and stuff. He keeps trying to push that Kang variant to do it faster, but it's just not good enough. And he keeps repeating it over and over and over. So suddenly, he thinks, what would I have to do in order to become as smart as Ouroboros or Obi? And Ouroboros tells him that it would take decades. The Kang variant says it's going to take centuries for you to do that. Loki uses his time skipping powers, or time slipping, to learn like centuries worth of physics. It doesn't matter because he can control time. So he spends centuries learning physics, and then he tries to go back and stop the TVA from being destroyed. And he's mostly successful. He finally gets that Kang variant to put that device into the temporal whatever, and then it goes into the Louvre, and he's able to come back. And Loki thinks, mission success, I finally did it. After spending centuries learning physics and astronomy and all of that, I finally did it. However, he fails again because the device at the TVA, the Louvre or whatever, it can't contain all the time branches, because all the time branches are now becoming infinite, and it can't contain like infinite branches. And then Loki is like, he's lost because no matter what he does, the TVA is going to be destroyed. And so he thinks that he needs to go further back, so far back, before they get to this moment where the temporal radiation gets out of hand. And so he goes back to the point where he and Sylvie are at the end of time, and he's doing everything within his power to stop Sylvie from killing the main Kang the Conqueror uh, person. And he keeps trying over and over again because Sylvie beats him up over and over and over and over and over again, and Loki keeps doing it over and over and over again. Whether he's trying to convince her or he's just trying to stop her, he's unsuccessful until Kang he realizes the time slipping, and he's like, "Okay, stop." And they have a conversation. Kang and Loki talk about, "Hey, how can I save the TVA even when you're dead?" And Kang basically lays it out for him. You can save the main timeline, but you won't save the TVA. The Louvre or whatever is containing the time branches, or the different branches in time, it will contain them because it's a fail safe. The main timeline will be protected, but TVA will be destroyed because TVA is just collateral damage. Loki does not want the main timeline to be destroyed, so he goes back to another point in time, and then he's talking to Sylvie before like the time branches are destroyed. And he's talking about Sylvie about hey, he has to like kill her before he has to kill her in order to stop these time branches from getting out of control. He has to kill her when they're at the end of time in order to stop these time branches from getting out of control. Like that's practically the only way now. And Sylvie's like, nope. Well, if you do it. But I'm not gonna say, yeah, do it. If you're gonna do it, just do it. Loki's trying to convince her that this is the way, but Sylvie's like, no, it's not. If the time branches are like destroyed or whatever, you have to take that chance. If killing Kang brings out something like worse, you have to take that chance because there is a possibility that things could get better, and you have to just take that chance. Loki doesn't like that answer, so it goes even further back to when he um, was first meeting Mobius, and Mobius was interviewing him. He's asking Mobius, "How do you choose between one life or the lives of others? How do you choose? Like, how can you reconcile with the fact that no matter what you do, you're gonna feel miserable afterwards?" And Mobius gives him the story about two TVA Minutemen or hunters. They had to make a tough choice between killing an 8-year-old variant or saving 5,000 people. And one of the Minutemen who had never hesitated before hesitated, but that variant was causing other variants. And then before you know it, millions of lives were at stake. But the other partner was able to get that person under control and he killed uh, the 8-year-old variant. And basically, Mobius was saying, look, there's no easy decision. You have to choose which burden you're going to take. Are you going to, uh, like, in this example, spare that 8-year-old and then let thousands of millions of people die because that person wasn't supposed to exist or what they did wasn't supposed to happen in the main timeline? Or are you just going to uh, kill that innocent like 8-year old to save possibly thousands and millions of lives? It's no easy choice. You're gonna have to just choose which burden you're gonna have to bear. And Loki realizes that, and then he goes back again to the point where the TVA is going to be destroyed. Instead of, um, I've been calling him the Kang variant, but I believe his name is Victor Lively. Victor Lively. Instead of him going out there, Loki goes out there. He sacrifices himself, um, using his Asgardian powers and magic to have all the time branches connect to him, and he saves the main timeline. And the other people in the TVA, they can't believe what they're seeing. They believe Loki's either dead or gone. Uh, Same difference. And Mobius is like, he's really sad that Loki's gone. He really misses Loki, and he tells the other TVA people, hey, he needs a break. He needs to take a trip to the main timeline to see why he's doing what he's doing, and he does that. And the episode pretty much ends there. So overall, really great episode. Things that I found like really interesting was the moral dilemma going on in this episode. Was Loki going to kill Sylvie, or was he just gonna let Sylvie kill Kang? Because he obviously likes Sylvie, but was he going to kill her in order to save the whole like universe? And like he couldn't, so he decided to sacrifice himself. So that so seeing the moral dilemma was very interesting. Now I have like another question I have to ponder. Loki sacrificing himself to save the main timeline. Does that like officially redeem his character? Like is he officially like redeemed a good person? does that make up for him attacking New York in the first Avengers movie and the deception he did in Thor Ragnarok? Does does that make up for all of it? I do want to say that he's gone through like a character redemption, and uh, he is not the same person who attacked New York or same Loki in the first Thor movie. He has changed. I will say that. I will say that. Those are the parts I found very interesting. Another part that I forgot to mention was Loki did learn how to pause time. So he learned not just how to go back and forward in time, but he learned how to pause time, which was super cool. But that's all we have for today. If you liked what I had to share, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with all your friends, and let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comment section below. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.